one of the Python's core data structures. Tuples are like Python lists, but with the key difference, they are immutable or unchangeable. Now, they are similar to C# value tuples. And by the end of this lecture, you will know how to create tuples in Python, access elements, and use slicing, and understand immutability and why it matters. This example, empty tuples, the same one that I just discussed on the slideshow. And let's see what running this code snippet does. As you expect, here it will be 10, 20, 30, and mixed will print 1, apple, true, and 3.14. So let's see it in actual running. So Python, this is the file. So results are as expected. So print output is, these are the two print outputs. Now, having said that, let's see how we create tuples in C#. So we initialize tuple as a variable var keyword, var tuple 10, 20, 30, similar to our in Python, except here there is no data type declaration, so it is not strongly typed, unlike C#. So var tuple equals 10, 20, 30, and var mixed is again 1 within quotes apple, true, 3.14, and console.writeLine tuple and console.writeLine mixed will give you this answer. So let's find this out. This one. So answer are as expected. Visual Studio Code. So accessing elements.py. I will open this one. All right. So let's run this. Clear the screen. So you get 10 for this. The first element at 0th index is 10, and this is the last element, -1. Numbers -1 is the last element, 40, and 1:3. So it starts at this index 1, which is the element 20, and it stops after executing this element, second element, up to and exclusive of index at 3, which is this one. So 20 and 30. Right? So here is an example of demonstrating immutability. Okay, so tuples can't be modified unlike lists and C# arrays. So let's see the last example. This one is demo immutability.py. So I am unable to modify it. So if I try to run this, it will tell me this one. So type error, it gives us a type error. Tuple object doesn't support item assignment, which is what I showed in the slide on a screenshot. They can't be modified, and this will bring a type error. Just a quick recap. Tuples are ordered, immutable sequences, perfect for fixed collections of data. In this part of this tuple masterclass, we'll be looking at how to unpack, and we'll be considering some real-world use cases. So person is declared as a tuple of 3 elements, and then 3 different variables have been assigned to this person object, a person tuple, and then print name, age, and profession. And then let us run this code. Clear the screen, and so now I run this and I get Alice, 30, and engineer. All right, that's how you expect it. Now let us see the C# equivalent. So before that, let me tell you that tuples are hashable and it can be used in dictionary keys, but let us first show you unpacking tuples.cs, C# equivalent of this. So let's run this one. So you can see that now I have run this .NET script for unpacking tuples in C#. So I get the same answer, Alice, 30, and engineer. So let's quickly run through this example. So a variable person has got this tuple in C sharp, and then just like Python, if you look into Python, we are assigning 3 different variables, name, age, and profession, to this person, and then with console.writeLine, I am extracting the name, age, and profession. All right. So next one is, let's see, tuples as dictionary keys. So tuples are hashable, as I told you just a while ago, and they can be used in heat maps, coordinates, because they are immutable. So they are very useful in coordinates and heat maps. We'll show it in example. And keys like X and Y for data science tasks are perfectly fit for using tuples. Okay, so let's see. So here you can see this module demonstrates tuple as keys in a dictionary. Just like in C sharp, we have got the key value pair. So here it is tuples are used as a key 0, 0, and the value is 10, 0, 1. So this could be just coordinates. Okay, so 0, 1, 12 and 1, 0, 5. So if you click on this, if you run through this example, then it will output 12. Print heat map 0, 1, coordinates is 12. If it is print heat map 1, 0, it will print 5. Okay, so let's run this example as well. So Python heatmap.py gives you 12. All right. So we have run through the code for this tuples as dictionary keys. So they are very useful for data science tasks used in heat maps and coordinates. Now finally, we'll have min-max function and passing this list. And when I print the result, the minimum and maximum computed are 1 and 9. So let's see. And here we are printing the type. So this will show a class tuple. Now, even though we wrote return minimum, maximum, Python implicitly creates a tuple like minimum and maximum. It creates a tuple minimum, maximum. All right. So let's run this example on Visual Studio Code. So Python multiple values return.py. And I get these answers 1, 9. Result is 1, 9. And type is class tuple. And then this is the next example which I have run in advance, tuple unpacking at call site. So what is that? So here, even though we return minimum, maximum, Python implicitly creates a tuple like minimum, maximum. So when we are calling minimum value, maximum value equals min max 4, 1. So it creates the minimum value as a tuple with 1, the element which is the minimum element out of this list, and this is the maximum element. So print max. So this is called tuple unpacking at call site. Okay. So here the function returns a tuple and caller unpacks it into separate variables. All right. So that is the essence. Function returns a tuple and the caller unpacks it into separate variables. So here is the caller. It is unpacking it into separate variables. And in C sharp, we achieve the same behavior using value tuple. This is link. Through link query, it gets the minimum as well as the maximum for these numbers. And then two separate variables are unpacking these the return value of the tuple into two console.writeLine statements, console.writeLine min value and console.writeLine max value. So we'll also go through this example in a bit. So here I have run this example .NET script, multiple values return .C sharp, and I get the answer 1 and 9. Okay. So if I clear the screen and run it again,